The Miami Dolphins find themselves in a familiar and frustrating position. Javon Holland, one of the brightest young stars on this roster, is set to hit free agency on March 12th. And while it should feel like a no-brainer for Miami to do whatever it takes to retain him, the signals coming out of the organization suggest otherwise. This is not just about a player, it's about what this franchise values, and whether they'll finally break the cycle of letting key contributors walk out the door. Javon Holland is not just another safety. At only 24 years old, he's the kind of player that defensive coordinators dream of, a smart, athletic, instinctive leader who elevates the entire secondary. Yet, when GM Chris Grier was asked about the team's plans for Holland at the season-ending press conference, his response was, at best, underwhelming. He talked about having conversations over the summer, how both sides agreed to pause discussions during the season, and how they'll see what happens in the off-season. That's it. No urgency. No passion. Just a lukewarm acknowledgement that Holland has been a good player. This is what frustrates Dolphins fans year after year. The front office talks about valuing talent, about building a championship team, but when it comes time to make the hard decisions, they hesitate. The same pattern played out with Christian Wilkins and Robert Hunt, two homegrown players who were allowed to walk when it became clear the team wouldn't pay them what they deserved. Is Javon Holland next on that list? It sure feels like it. The franchise tag is technically an option for the Dolphins, but the financial realities make it unlikely. Applying the tag would mean an immediate $19.6 million cap hit, a staggering number for a team already $12 million over the cap. Even the transition tag, at $15.6 million, would be difficult to justify given Miami's current financial situation. Sure, there are moves the Dolphins can make to free up space, but the question remains, are they willing to make those sacrifices for Holland? Based on Grier's comments, it doesn't seem like it. And then there's Holland himself. If you're hoping he's the type of player who'll prioritize staying in Miami over getting the biggest paycheck, think again. Holland has been clear about his mindset heading into free agency. He's optimistic about finding a better situation, whether that's in Miami or elsewhere. In other words, he's going where the money is, and honestly, who can blame him? He's entering his prime, and this is his chance to secure life-changing financial stability. He's not going to let sentimentality stand in the way of that. The market for Holland is going to be robust, and the numbers being thrown around are eye-opening. Former NFL executive Mark Ross believes Holland could command a contract similar to the four-year, $64 million deal Jesse Bates III signed with the Atlanta Falcons last offseason. That's $16 million per year, a hefty price tag for a safety. And while Bates has more accolades, 2 second-team All-Pro nods, Holland is widely respected around the league. Pro Football Focus even ranked him as the top defensive free agent heading into the offseason, a testament to his talent and potential. If the Dolphins let Holland walk, the consequences will be significant. Miami's secondary is already in a precarious position, with Jordan Poyer also set to hit free agency. Poyer is older, his performance has dipped, and it's hard to see the Dolphins bringing him back. Losing both starting safeties would create a massive hole in the defense, one that would be difficult to fill in a single offseason. Yes, the draft offers potential solutions, but relying on rookies to step into such critical roles is a gamble at best. What's even more frustrating is that this feels avoidable. Holland isn't just a talented player, he's a player the Dolphins drafted and developed. Letting him walk would send a terrible message to the locker room and the fanbase. It would signal that the organization is more willing to chase outside talent than reward its own. And make no mistake, Holland will thrive wherever he goes. He's too good, too driven, to be anything less than a star. Watching him succeed in another uniform while Miami scrambles to replace him would be a bitter pill to swallow. The signs are all there. The Dolphins value Holland, but only to a point. They're not going to overextend themselves financially to keep him, especially when they've shown a willingness to let other talented players leave in recent years. It's a calculated risk, but it's one that could backfire spectacularly. Because players like Holland don't come around often, and when you have one, you do everything in your power to keep them. This isn't just about money, it's about priorities. Do the Dolphins want to be a team that rewards its homegrown talent, that builds a sustainable contender by retaining its best players? Or are they content to keep spinning their wheels, letting key pieces walk while hoping to find replacements in the draft or free agency? These are the questions Miami has to answer, and the clock is ticking. Jevon Holland's future is uncertain, but one thing is clear: if the Dolphins let him go, they'll regret it.